Okay, we are live. So am I good to start asking questions? Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay. So someone needs to list the positive results of the pilot program. Anyone have any positives?
I think one of the positives is that, oh geez, I just forgot what I was gonna say. It had like a positive outcome from the the trainee people or something. I can't remember exactly. It said something about they like. I don't know. Hold on, I'm not thinking straight. It says I'm trying to pull it up so I can see exactly what it said, but something about how they like felt part of the company more or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. Another thing was that they mentioned that the promotion rate was, I think, 7 out of 28, which I think is rather significant given the span of the program was somewhat narrow. So it's disproportionate. So it seems like those who participate in the mentor program are promoted at a higher rate than those who are not.
Yeah.
I agree.
And there were quite a few like examples of people that thought they didn't like their job or were looking at other opportunities somewhere else, and the program helped them realize that they were into their job.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
Okay. So why do you think they got the positive results?
I think just the nature of mentors. Everybody likes mentors. Everybody, the people, it's a natural inclination of individuals to like to learn on a one-on-one basis and with people who can connect with them.
And who have been there before.
What's that?
And they're getting help from people that have been pretty much in their same shoes.
Right.
Or like shoes right next to theirs.
Right.
Not only that too, but everyone, when you first start into a job and all that, everyone's got the questions of like, what the heck am I doing, or how does this company run? There's no company that runs the exact same as other companies. And I don't know, having a mentor or having someone that you feel that is constantly there for you to ask questions, I think it relieves a lot of stress and it helps you feel more comfortable at the same time, because it's almost like your best friend at work in certain cases that's given to you.
Right. And one lady talked about how she'd been feeling a sense of complacency, but now she felt like she was using her own mind and was just really like, I think she was a mentor, to feel like they have both mentors and mentees, I guess is the word. They felt like they had more of a place in the company, more of a purpose and a place. Mm-hmm. So that increased their morale and excitement to be there.
Yeah. And kind of along with all of this, but the matching process they said was really thorough, and they took a lot of time to make sure that everyone had someone that they could relate to, and it wasn't just like random pairings.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, it was successful because one of the mentees mentioned that she was surprised at how many similarities she had with a mentor. So obviously, they were effective in that.
like they went to the same school. They had like same religious things and a bunch of other stuff too. So yeah.
Okay, this next question I'm having a hard time understanding. It says, how did these reasons, the ones we just talked about, how did they result in success? So how did the causes for success result in success? Is anyone?
That's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I'm like not really following what the question is
Yeah, I
asking.
can see the question.
Say it one more time.
It says, how are these reasons or causes for success resulted in success?
How are these? How is success? Basically, it sounds like to me it's saying how is the success successful?
Yeah.
Because it is. That's
And
a weird question.
But along with that, it says, are any of the reasons specific to the bank, or would they work in any organization?
Oh,
I think it would work in any organization, really, the way that they had it set up. I don't think that just the way that it was set up isn't just the way that a bank would have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can apply that to basically any work experience environment that you may be in. But if we set up the right people with them to mentor them and help them get through things, it will be successful. Just basically finding the common ground with other people.
Yeah. Did it say anywhere how big this bank was?
Probably really big.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty darn big. I thought it was a nationwide one.
Yeah.
So
Because just when I thought bank initially, I just thought of a normal bank, and then it said that they had a committee of like 90 people, which means that there's a lot more than 90 people if it's just one committee. But
yeah, it's the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, so I think it was
So
a pretty
pretty
big
huge.
bank.
yeah, so that's the only thing I think is specific to that size of an organization. If it was a smaller organization, I think you would have to rethink things, scale it down, make it a little bit more personal. But with the size that they had, I think it worked really well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, if it was like a small little credit union or something, that would
Yeah.
probably wouldn't work as well because there's like 20 employees. So
Okay, any
Oh,
other
yeah, it says
comments?
this-
Oh, sorry.
oh no, I was gonna say yeah. It talked about how it includes like Illinois, Iowa, northern Indiana, southern Michigan, southern Wisconsin. There are approximately 2,000 employees and over 2,000 employees.
yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think it was just in Chicago, but
Yeah, but anyways, sorry, I just read that. So
So next section. How can mentoring help employees with career development?
well, I liked what it said. How they said a lot of mentoring programs start with a brand new employee. But in this case, they decided not to do that. They were going to mentor people that had already been there a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so, obviously, a new employee already has a lot of attention and is getting trained already. But you get those people that have been there a little while and they just kind of get complacent and maybe you're starting to get burned out or whatever. So, if they're able to be mentored, that will spark a new fire in them. And yeah, I don't know, just kind of be excited again and feel like they're learning and growing instead of just every day.
Yeah.
And I think invariably, it's just kind of inevitable that at a certain level of success, when you, at any job, naturally your next inclination is to seek for something new, something different, and something challenging. So it was wise to take those who probably were at the best in their field, because we might have felt a little bit just kind of run down maybe, or as though there was nothing left for them. Humdrum.
Yeah, and I found it interesting that a lot of the people said that they still didn't really understand their job, like what they were really supposed to be doing or where they fit into the company, which it seems like after a year you would kind of know what you're doing, but it seemed like, at least in their circumstances, maybe it was just so big that there wasn't that much training and everyone's still kind of figuring things out after a year.
Yeah. Well, not only that too, but
I
didn't realize what their benefits that were offered.
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading one of the things that said that the people started enjoying it even more when they found out that it paid for like certain things, or it covered certain things that their jobs did. And so anyways, I thought that's one thing that, I don't know, I see that at some of the jobs and the places that I work at too. Like, I was offered full benefits at this one job, and anyways, after a while, I completely forgot about all the different benefits. And turns out the stores I was going to, I could have been getting like a 25% off every single time I shopped there or something like that. And, anyways, it's kind of a good thing to have the reminder, and that's where I think where the mentors also come in, and they're just like, yeah, by the way, remember, you have this benefit, you have this option that's offered to you.
Yeah. What other approaches or programs might help employees to develop their careers?
What other program? Say that again. Sorry.
What other approaches or programs might help employees to develop their careers?
Like educational things, like maybe having people do like, I don't know, classes, or even being like, because there's a lot of like certifications out there you can get, like ones in like project management or stuff. So if like maybe there's an incentive, whether it's like you'll get like maybe a bonus, you know, get your some certification online or whatever, then that will encourage people to continue their education for the benefit of their job.
You there now, Connor?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you now.
That was so weird. I kept trying to talk, and it's like you guys ignored me, and I was like, what the?
That's fun.
Okay, figured it out. Keep going. Sorry.
You're fine. Another thing I thought of is doing like outside of work, like get together with people in the same program or that have the same titles from different programs so that they can kind of discuss what they're doing. Like if there's HR for certain parts, or I don't really know how their organization works, but just get people together that have common goals in their work, and so they can discuss things, but make it more fun, like have food and cookies and things.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
What other approaches or programs might help employees to develop their careers?
So where I work right now, what they do, kind of cool, is there's different sections of the company, right? And what they do is they make teams, and they pull a person from each section of the company, and they all help each other work on developing themselves. So like they find a weakness and they find a strength, and they pair each other up with the weaknesses and the strengths, and they have a, you know, kind of like a team that they can build upon. But then throughout all the teams, it's like a competition of who can show the most improvement, and it's monitorized through like peer evaluations and such. And it's kind of cool because it lets people that don't normally interact with each other interact with them, and then also allows, I think, a lot of team building exercises to happen, and it's kind of fun because it is a competition, but it's not like overly competitive. So that's an idea that could be used maybe someday in a different company or something.
Would the stuff that we covered in the previous class where they
Yeah.
have manager interviews or the discussion
Yeah,
with the managers, would that be something that would help promote them as well? That I can't remember what the short little interviews or the every single
Right.
month or every single year. Would that be something that would help improve it, do you think, or not as much?
Yeah, I think it would, because it gives people a sense of where they're at and what the management thinks of where they're at, and see if, their ideas are in the same place and what they can do to improve.
Yeah, because I remember it also talked about like the managers would help the people set goals and situations like that. So I think that would be, in some cases, then it would help them, or they're able to talk to them and say, hey, okay, this is what we see and this is what you're doing great at. This is what we think you can improve at. What are some goals that you could set? And in other words, almost challenging themselves to try to improve.
Here's her final one. Last week we learned about CJ Cohen. They were too externally, in terms of the recruitment, too externally focused. If you could just tell those of the lower rungs that there are opportunities and they're seeking to hire from within, and that if they prepare themselves, they'll be a viable candidate for these opportunities. That surely would increase morale.
Yeah, that'd be good. I like it.
Sometimes it's just good also to have like events that are not even work related.
Yeah.
Like a barbecue or something, where you don't even discuss improvement, but you get opportunities to be at an out of office setting and enjoy each other. That also, I've seen it help morale, boost quite a bit. It makes everyone feel as if they have a family and people to rely on. Things like that.
Yeah, I know a lot of big companies will do that. They'll pay for their department to go to like a little retreat. Like they have team building activities, and it's just fun. And that's kind of been proven lately in the business world to be real successful. So I agree.
Kind of like that other case we talked about with the rowing team.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. I think that helps a lot when they have a little retreat as well, but also a time to relieve stress and possibly do some conflict management as well. So that way, in an environment that's appropriate for all that kind of stuff.
Has anyone had any experience with mentoring as a mentor or a mentee, work, church, school, anything like that?
I had one when I did summer sales. When I first started off when I first got out there on the doors, the owner of the company, he would go out there and he would show me how to do it and how to contact people. And then later after that, I was the one that was teaching people and showing people how to do it as well. The things that I got out of it, it really did help gain me confidence on the doors when the owner was teaching me and showing me stuff like that. And then when I was the mentor, teaching the other people, it kind of gave me a sense of confidence and trust, knowing that, hey, I do know what I'm doing in situations like this, and I can teach these people how to do it as well. So I think that it was an improvement, that it did help overcome quite a few different things. That's just an experience I had.
One
Yeah,
I
or
can
even
think
like
of. Oh, sorry. You can go.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. One of the things I can think of, I think we probably all did it in B100. You have to like come up with 3 mentors, and most of the time, like they're like fake mentors, and they don't really mean anything. You're just trying to get through the 1 credit class. But I actually found some guy that worked at Grand Targhee, and that's why I connected with him, because I wanted to be a ski bum. But he was also a business professional, and we've like stayed in contact in the last 4 years since I did that. And it's just been kind of cool. Like he'll shoot me a couple like ideas or things that he's learned. And it's not like a big mentor thing, but just having that connection and someone that has checked in with me throughout the years has been pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I remember on the mission, especially being the new missionary. I don't know if you all served missions or not, but this is probably the easiest one to think about if you have. You went and you started the mission and you absolutely knew nothing, and you kind of relied on that person, and they held your hand through learning both the gospel and how to teach the gospel. And then eventually, throughout my mission at least, I slowly gained confidence and thought I could sort of teach. And then as I got to that point, I wasn't fully ready, but I was asked to be a trainer. And at that point, I think I learned more from being the trainer than I did when I was being trained. There was just a bunch of things that I thought I knew, but I really didn't. And as the mentor or as the trainer, I learned more and more about not just what a good leader is, but like looked at my weaknesses and, all right, what do I need to improve on? And if someone else wants to improve or expects someone else to improve, what do I have to do first? And it gave you that time, whatever that 3 months, to really reflect on yourself and also become a better missionary because of it. So I think that is an awesome program that the church has, and that we have that opportunity to learn and grow in those moments. So yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. The mission is full of mentoring and being mentored opportunities. But
Okay.
anything else?
Anyone else? Are we good to move on? Okay.
All the good ones are covered.
So do you guys think a less formal mentoring program would be better for this group? Like where the mentees find their own mentors instead of being assigned to people, and it's kind of a do whatever you want sort of mentoring thing.
I don't think so. I don't think that would be wise at all. I think the structure from the program is what caused them to have the little success that they did have. And because it is just like a pilot program, if you were to want to copy it, you'd want to copy it and know that it's successful this way. But not only that, once you give people freedom on that kind of stuff, I feel, or I've seen it happen where it just doesn't get done. It does not happen. And if you don't set up the connections, nobody's going to set up the connections. Everyone's going to be too shy or not willing to go out, risk their, possibly getting denied, like, oh, I don't want to be your mentor, or whatever happening. The matchmaking process is great because it's like backed by, like, okay, this is our logic. We decided that you have to be within 2 pay grades of each other, and we just found, based off our questions, you two to be the best fit. It sets it up really nicely, because then also you have someone to be like, okay, I may not entirely know you, but this is an opportunity to get to know you. So I feel that has so many positives to it. Why would you want to take away from that?
Yeah, for sure. And kind of they're kind of the same question, but along with that, why would the company want to create a formal mentoring program rather than allowing the relationships to form more naturally? And I think if you want someone to be your mentor, like, walk up to them and ask them. Like, you don't need a program to do that. But the program is set up to have the structure and to make sure that things are actually getting done. Because you can always just walk up to someone or create a relationship with someone and they can be a mentor to you, but it doesn't have to be put on through the company.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah. I think I agree. Like, it's just more like, I don't know. I'm kind of more of a shy person when it would come to that. Like, I would have a hard time going up to someone and being like, "Hey, will you be my mentor?" And so for me, like, it'd be more beneficial for a person like me if they're like, "Hey, this is your mentor," so I know what to expect and what that person knows what to expect for both of us. So it's not just like, well, what do I do now? So
I think it gives more opportunity for the mentor to learn as well and take responsibility for himself when he's assigned it, instead of the person just walking up to them and just asking them like, "Hey, will you be my mentor?" or something like that. I also think that if people were to ask their mentors, they may ask friends, they just may ask other people they're already familiar with as well, and not necessarily ever, at that point you guys are friends, which isn't a bad thing, but at the same time, it can be in some cases where it decreases you from actually moving on because the friends don't want to hurt you by telling you what you did wrong or what you need to improve on. In certain cases like that, like they kind of get blinded by that. So that's where I think it's better to have them assigned to people, like I said, first off, because it gives the mentor more responsibility. And second off, it gets the mentee out of their comfort zone, and they're able to more communicate on an unbiased situation.
What might have been improved in the Banks program?
what could have been improved in their program?
Morale faltered, and
I really think of much.
I think what often happens in these sorts of programs is those who are mentors, they have the opportunity to sustain each other, or they can actually be a source of a decrease in morale. If the wrong attitude infects the system, and they're like, all right, then it could be counterproductive. Does that make sense? Because it's said that there's like an in-group whereby mentors can talk to each other. If they didn't correctly cultivate a relationship among the mentors themselves, I would suppose that morale is liable to decrease. And the crowd goes mild.
Honestly, I'm having a hard time to think what else they could have done different with it.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
it was their first go, and I think they did pretty good. And that it was fairly successful compared to, seemed like in past years they like kind of talked about doing it, and then like 10 years went by, and so I think it went pretty well.
Did they say that though their retention for the second round wasn't very high?
No, it was like 20 or 23 people or something like that, but they were anticipating like 50 is what the article kind of made it sound like.
Okay.
So I think though what they could have done is done a better job at showing the positives, like really promoting if they, hey, this person moved up and as of the mentorship program. Not saying that you have to do the mentorship program to get a raise, but they found this opportunity and moved to this section of work, and it turned out to be a great fit for them because their mentor kind of helped them go through that process. I don't think they did much of that, really explaining of the benefits, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't really talk about what they did specifically in the mentorship because, like, we could critique them a little bit on, well, maybe they needed not just weekly meetings, but also like goals to make, stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind of difficult.
Yeah, I talked about how people were complaining about it being too long and missing work, so then they had to catch up on work. I think for the second round they like condensed it to one day or something. I don't know, but to find out a way in which people aren't like stressing because they're missing work over it. Maybe do it on the weekend. I don't know, but then again, nobody wants to do work on the weekend, so.
So why do you think less people signed up for the second round?
I think what Ryan just said was the reason why. Hit the nail on the head right there, Ryan.
Yeah.
All right, I was thinking ahead.
No, Kyle mentioned something else previously about how there are opportunities that are present that people, as time progresses, kind of forget about. At BYUI, there's people always, the MC, the activities group committee, there's people always handing out flyers and so forth, always trying to get people to do things. So programs, they generally lack the pull that they would like to. And I think part of that's because
Yeah. What did you say? What did you say there at the end, Joshua? I didn't quite catch there at the end.
Maybe just like the bureaucratic nature or flavor of certain programs make it seem a little bit aversive to some people, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Because it's an established system or program.
Oh. Yeah,
People
okay, I
just
get it.
They just get in a mood or a mindset where they just don't take advantage of the programs that are out there for whatever reason. They
I
have in the
got you.
past, so nothing's going to prompt them to do it forward.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I see people that they just miss out on those because they're just so used to seeing, like you said, people hand out the flyers. But so maybe if they offered, I don't know, I always bring this up, but like offer something if they do it. I don't know.
Incentivize it.
Yeah.
Don't even have to or anything, but maybe just like a gift card to like a dinner or something. I don't know. So they can get past the whole like these like programs.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean they're giving up work to participate, so it's not like too far of a stretch that they could be incentivized for it.
Yeah.
Or you could reframe it. You could say that while you're not getting paid, the promotion is worth X amount of money, tens and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. So moving forward, what should they do with the program? Expand it, keep it small, keep it the same?
I would say expand it. If they had such a positive outcome for the first time, say keep expanding it, and as people have like personal, I guess you could say, positive experiences. They'll want to keep doing it and keep growing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
don't
felt
know.
growing.
And part of me wants to say that they should keep expanding it, but then maybe it's better that they keep it exactly the way it is, like size-wise, and then critique the little problems that they had with it. So that way they work out the bugs first completely, and that everyone's got
That's a good
100%
point.
satisfaction. I think that's the safer thing to do, but I'm not quite sure on that because sometimes you need more people to try it out. So you might not get that many people to try it out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. I don't know.
No, I agree with you there. I think that they, like, yes, expanding it would be a good thing, but where it's, the first time that they're doing it and stuff like that, they do need to work out the bugs, and they kind of need to be prepared for situations that will come about when they take it to the larger scale. That's where they'll be having bigger problems and more concerns that may come about. So I agree with you on that. I think they just need to add, like we kind of talked about before, incentives to go through the program in the first place. That way it gets more people out there and wanting to do it and be able to get a more, I don't know how to really phrase it, but more of a legitimate pull and understanding of how it should be ran.
Yeah, 'cause I agree with that actually. Yeah, because if anything that grows too fast is never really. So there's a lot of like businesses that have grown too fast, and it's actually pretty detrimental. Because so if this company can get the bugs and make it a perfect program, let in the future spend less resources on like advertising it. I feel like people will just start to spread it by word of mouth, so it'll grow later. But yeah, I agree with Connor. Just maybe for the first few years, just focus on fine tuning and ironing out the parts of it.
Yeah. So these last couple questions, I feel like they're all kind of the same. How do you get people without forcing them to be involved? How do you encourage the people that really need mentoring to get mentored? And how do you get enough people to mentor? Which I feel like we've kind of touched on all of those already.
Incentives gets everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, incentives, but also retaining those that have already been mentors, or maybe like making the mentees become mentors would be another way of doing that. Maybe because it allows the mentor to do it again, like round 2, see if they improved, and then the mentee can graduate and be like, okay, these are all the things I learned. Now it's time to apply it and possibly help someone else out as well.
Especially if they got like a promotion or like some
Exactly.
big thing happened from the program, they could be like a shining example of what could be.
Yeah.
Right. You could have like personal testimonies advertising it. Like someone could say, I was a mentee and I got a promotion, and so like people are like, oh, well then in that case I want to do it too. Or I don't know if people can, if it can just be that people enjoy keep doing it. So it's just up to the designers of the program just to make sure it's really want to keep coming back.
Yeah. You have to see something that they're going to get out of it and something that will motivate them for it. So I think that's where what you guys said, having, either the incentives in a part of it, but also like have the statistics by saying, well, the people that go through this program on average, they get promoted for this because their work improves on average this X amount. And so I think that's just one thing. And then they also could say, you know, in order to be like an upper management, in order to be through something like this, you've got to be able to have completed the mentoring program and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's what I think too. I don't know what you guys are saying.
Okay. Anyone have any final thoughts before I conclude, summarize and conclude?
I feel like we've covered all the good ones.
Yeah. So incentivize people, whether it be food or parties or promotions. Keep it small, perfect it, and then think about expansion after a couple years.
Yeah, I would just keep like involve the people that had really good experiences,
Mhm.
so they can help spread the good word and just keep it, because the people that really liked it, you know, invite them back, and so they'll keep doing it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, if no one has anything else, we're done.
Sounds good to me.
So did we talk anything? I had to leave it last week early, but did we talk anything about the doohickey? What our plans were?
No, but we need